Hello, my dear friend. Welcome back to my channel. This one habit is destroying your English. Eliminate it today and speak like never before. Every time you translate from your native language into English before speaking, you create an extra step that slows your conversation. Your brain is trying to do two jobs at once. First, it forms the idea in your own language. Then it searches for English words, checks grammar, rearranges the sentence, and finally decides whether it sounds correct. By the time you are ready to speak, the conversation has already moved on. This is one of the biggest reasons many English learners understand the language but struggle to speak it naturally. If you want to become fluent, you must train your mind to think directly in English instead of translating every thought. Think about how you speak your first language. You do not stop to translate every sentence before saying it. The words come naturally because your brain has connected thoughts directly to the language. That same connection can be built in English through daily practice. It does not happen overnight, but every small effort strengthens the habit. The goal is not to know every English word. The goal is to make English your first response instead of your second choice. Start with simple ideas. When you wake up in the morning, look around your room and name everything in English. Say, this is my bed, this is my window. My phone is on the table, I need to drink water. These are not difficult sentences, but they teach your brain to connect objects and actions directly with English words. As you continue this habit every day, your mind becomes faster and more comfortable with the language. During your daily routine, describe everything you are doing in English. When you are making breakfast, think, I am cutting bread. I am pouring tea. I am washing the dishes. When you are walking outside, think, the weather is nice, the road is busy. I can hear birds. I am going to work. These thoughts may seem small, but they are powerful because they remove the need for translation. Instead of changing ideas from one language into another, you're creating them directly in English. Many learners believe they need perfect grammar before they can think in English. That belief only creates fear. Your thoughts do not have to be perfect. Even native speakers make mistakes while speaking. What matters is building the habit of expressing yourself without stopping to translate. A short, simple sentence spoken with confidence is far more useful than a long, complicated sentence that never leaves your mind. Whenever you learn a new word, connect it with a picture, an action, or a real experience instead of its translation. If you learn the word apple, imagine holding an apple, eating an apple, or buying an apple. When you hear the word again, your brain will remember the image instead of searching for the meaning in another language. This makes your vocabulary stronger and you're speaking much faster. Your brain learns through repetition. The more often you think in English, the more natural it becomes. At first, it may feel slow and uncomfortable, but every day your mind becomes more flexible. Little by little, you will notice that simple English words appear automatically. You will answer questions more quickly, speak with greater confidence, and spend less time worrying about translation. Many English learners believe that becoming fluent requires memorizing thousands of difficult words. They spend months collecting long vocabulary lists, learning rare expressions, and trying to remember complicated meanings. After all that effort, they still hesitate during simple conversations because they cannot not use those words naturally. The truth is that fluency does not begin with advanced vocabulary. It begins with mastering a small group of useful words that appear in everyday life. Around *521 carefully chosen everyday words can help you handle a surprising number of real conversations. These are the words people use when they greet each other, ask questions, share opinions, describe feelings, make requests, and talk about daily experiences. Imagine how often you use simple words like go, come, eat, drink, work, friend, family, happy, today, and tomorrow. These words appear again and again in daily communication. When you know them well, you do not have to stop and think before speaking. They become automatic, allowing your mind to focus on your message instead of searching for vocabulary. That is why learning common words is much more valuable than memorizing difficult ones that you may never use in real conversations. Instead of learning 20 new words every day and forgetting most of them, focus on using the same useful words in different situations. Take the word go. You can say, I go to school, let's go together. I want to go home. Go straight, go slowly, and go first. One simple word creates many useful sentences. The same happens with words like make, take, find, give, and help. When you understand how these everyday words work, your speaking ability grows much faster. Practice these 521 words through real-life situations instead of memorizing dictionary definitions. If you learn the word book, do not only remember its meaning. Create sentences such as, this is my book, I bought a new book, I am reading a book, and can you give me that book? Every sentence teaches your brain how the word is used naturally. The more examples you create, the easier it becomes to remember the word during conversations. Listening also plays an important role. Watch simple English videos, listen to podcasts for beginners, or pay attention to everyday conversations. You will notice that the same common words appear repeatedly. This repetition is not a coincidence. It is proof that everyday communication depends on familiar vocabulary rather than complicated language. As you hear these words again and again, they become part of your natural thinking process. Do not rush to learn advanced expressions before mastering the basics. A strong foundation always supports greater progress. When your everyday vocabulary becomes automatic, adding new words becomes much easier because you already understand the structure of simple conversations. You can build longer sentences, express clearer ideas, and respond more confidently without feeling overwhelmed. Keep a small notebook or a digital list of your 521 everyday words. Review them every day, speak them aloud, and use them in new sentences. Challenge yourself to describe your day using only these words. Ask simple questions, answer them, and practice with friends or even by yourself. Every repetition strengthens your memory, improves your confidence, and makes your English more natural because fluency is built through frequent use of familiar words rather than the occasional use of difficult vocabulary that rarely appears in everyday life. Speaking English fluently is not something that happens by chance. It is the result of consistent daily practice. Many learners spend years reading grammar books, watching lessons, and memorizing vocabulary, yet they still struggle to speak because they rarely use the language out loud. Speaking is a skill, and like every other skill, it improves only when you practice it regularly. You cannot become a confident swimmer by reading about swimming, and you cannot become a fluent English speaker by only studying English. Your voice must become part of your learning process every single day. The good news is that you do not need hours of free time to improve your speaking. Even 15 to 20 minutes of focused practice every day can create remarkable progress over time. What matters most is consistency. Speaking for 15 minutes every day is far more effective than practicing for 3 hours once a week. Your brain learns through repeated exposure and repeated action. Every time you speak English, you strengthen the connection between your thoughts and your words. Start your day with simple speaking exercises. As soon as you wake up, greet yourself in English. Say, good morning. Today is going to be a great day. I feel ready to learn something new. Describe your plans for the day using short and simple sentences. Talk about what you want to do, where you are going, and what you hope to achieve. These small conversations with yourself help your brain switch into English mode from the beginning of the day. Turn your daily activities into speaking opportunities. While getting dressed, describe the clothes you are wearing. While preparing breakfast, explain each step in English. When traveling to work or school, observe the people, buildings, and weather around you and describe them aloud or quietly to yourself. Every ordinary moment becomes a valuable English lesson when you choose to think and speak in the language. Reading aloud is another powerful habit. Choose a short article, a story, or a paragraph from an English book and read it slowly with clear pronunciation. Pay attention to the rhythm, stress, and flow of the sentences. Reading aloud trains your mouth to become familiar with English sounds and improves your confidence when speaking naturally. The more comfortable your mouth becomes with English pronunciation, the smoother your conversations will be. Another effective method is recording your own voice. Use your phone to record yourself speaking about your day, your hobbies, your goals, or your opinions. Listen to the recording without criticizing yourself. Instead, notice where you hesitate, where your pronunciation can improve, and which words you repeat too often. Recording yourself allows you to hear your progress over time and helps you become more aware of your speaking habits. Practice answering common questions every day. Ask yourself, what did I do today? What is my favorite food? Why am I learning English? What are my future goals? Answer these questions in complete sentences instead of single words. This prepares you for real conversations because many daily discussions begin with simple questions like these. Most importantly, do not wait until you feel ready to speak. Readiness comes from practice, not from waiting. Every sentence you speak builds confidence. Every mistake teaches a valuable lesson. Every conversation makes you a little faster, a little clearer, and a little more comfortable with English. Small daily efforts, repeated with patience and determination, gradually transform hesitant learners into confident speakers who can express their thoughts naturally without fear or unnecessary hesitation. One of the greatest obstacles to speaking English fluently is the fear of making mistakes. Many learners stay silent because they believe every sentence must be grammatically perfect before they speak. They worry that someone will laugh at their pronunciation, correct their grammar, or judge their accent. As a result, they avoid conversations and miss the very practice that would help them improve. The reality is that mistakes are not signs of failure. They are signs that you are learning, growing, and pushing yourself beyond your comfort zone. Think about how children learn to speak their first language. They do not begin with perfect grammar or flawless pronunciation. They make countless mistakes every day. They mispronounce words, use incorrect sentence structures, and confuse meanings. Yet no one expects them to be perfect. They continue speaking, listening, and learning because every mistake teaches them something new. That same process applies to learning English. Fluency develops through practice, correction, and repetition, not through avoiding errors. Every mistake provides valuable feedback. If you use the wrong tense, you discover how the correct tense works. If you pronounce a word incorrectly, you become aware of the proper pronunciation. If you choose the wrong word, you learn a better one for the next conversation. Without mistakes, there is no opportunity to improve. Every error is simply information that guides you toward better communication. Stop thinking of mistakes as something embarrassing. Instead, think of them as stepping stones. Every successful English speaker has made thousands of mistakes along the way. They became fluent not because they avoided errors, but because they refused to let those errors stop them from speaking. Confidence grows each time you continue talking despite feeling uncertain. Your willingness to communicate matters far more than your ability to speak perfectly. When someone corrects your English, see it as a gift rather than criticism. A correction gives you knowledge that you did not have before. Thank the person, remember the correction, and use it the next time you speak. There is no shame in learning. Every correction brings you one step closer to speaking more naturally and accurately. Do not compare yourself with people who have been learning English for many years. Everyone begins at a different level, learns at a different speed, and faces different challenges. Your only competition is the person you were yesterday. If today you can speak one sentence more than yesterday, you are making progress. If today you are less afraid than last week, you are becoming stronger. Small improvements repeated consistently subtly lead to remarkable results. Some the thought, what if I make a mistake? With a better question, what if I learn something new today? This simple change in mindset removes pressure and encourages curiosity. Learning becomes enjoyable when you focus on growth instead of perfection. Every conversation becomes an opportunity to improve rather than a test you must pass. Give yourself permission to speak imperfect English. Speak even when you forget a word. Speak even when your pronunciation is not perfect. Speak even when you are unsure about the grammar. Communication is about sharing ideas, not proving perfection. Most people care far more about understanding your message than noticing a small mistake. The more often you choose courage over fear, the more natural speaking becomes. and your confidence continues to grow through every conversation, every correction, every lesson, and every new experience you gain while using English in real life. Confidence in English does not come from knowing the most difficult words or memorizing every grammar rule. It comes from using simple English sentences so often that they become a natural part of your daily life. Many learners believe they need to speak like a native speaker before they can feel confident. They wait until their vocabulary becomes larger, their pronunciation becomes perfect, or their grammar becomes flawless. That day rarely comes because confidence is built through action, not through waiting. The more you use simple sentences every day, the more comfortable you become with expressing your thoughts in English. Start by creating short sentences that match your daily routine. Say, I am ready for work. I need some water. The weather is beautiful today. I am learning something new. These sentences may seem very basic, but they teach your brain to respond in English without hesitation. Every simple sentence you speak strengthens your ability to communicate naturally. Over time, those short sentences grow into longer conversations without feeling difficult. Keep your language practical and useful. Focus on sentences you can actually use in your everyday life. Learn how to introduce yourself, ask for directions, order food, talk about your family, describe your feelings, and explain your plans. These situations happen regularly, which means you will have many chances to practice. When your practice matches real life, your confidence grows much faster because you immediately see the value of what you are learning. Do not be afraid to repeat the same sentence many times. Repetition is one of the most powerful learning techniques. If you practice the sentence, I enjoy reading books every day for a week, it eventually becomes automatic. Your brain no longer searches for each individual word because it remembers the complete pattern. Build several sentence patterns like this and use different words to create new ideas. For example, I enjoy learning English, I enjoy walking in the park, and I enjoy spending time with my family. One simple pattern can produce countless useful sentences. Speaking aloud is another important habit. Reading silently helps you recognize words, but speaking aloud trains your mouth, tongue, and ears to work together. Every time you hear your own voice speaking English, your confidence increases. Even if you are alone in your room, speak clearly and naturally. Imagine you are talking to a friend. Smile while you speak, because a relaxed mind often produces more confident speech. Practice answering common questions in complete sentences instead of giving one-word replies. If someone asks, "How are you?" do not simply say, "Fine." Say, "I'm doing well today because I finished my work early." If someone asks, "What do you like?" answer with, "I like learning English because it helps me communicate with people from different countries." These complete responses improve your fluency and help you express your personality through English. Celebrate every small success along the way. If today you spoke for 1 minute without stopping, appreciate that achievement. If you understood a conversation better than yesterday, recognize your progress. Confidence grows when you notice your improvements instead of focusing only on your weaknesses. Every simple sentence you speak, every conversation you complete, and every moment you choose to use English instead of staying silent strengthens your belief in yourself and makes speaking feel more natural, comfortable, and enjoyable with each passing day. Creating an English-only mindset is one of the most powerful steps you can take toward becoming fluent. Many learners treat English as a subject they study for an hour and then completely forget for the rest of the day. They read a lesson, memorize a few words, close the book, and immediately return to thinking in their native language. This habit slows progress because the brain receives only a small amount of English exposure. Fluency grows when English becomes part of your daily life, not just part of your study time. The goal is to surround your mind with English until it begins to feel natural and familiar. Start by making small changes to your daily routine. Change the language on your phone, computer, and favorite apps to English. At first, it may feel uncomfortable because the menus and settings look different, but after a few days, you will begin recognizing common words without any effort. Every time you unlock your phone or use an application, You are giving your brain another opportunity to see and understand English in a real-life situation. Fill your environment with English. Listen to English podcasts while walking, cooking, or exercising. Watch English videos with subtitles in English instead of your native language. Read short articles, simple stories, or news headlines every day. Even if you understand only part of what you hear or read, your brain is constantly becoming more familiar with sentence patterns, pronunciation, and vocabulary. Regular exposure is far more effective than occasional long study sessions. Think about your daily experiences in English whenever possible. As you walk outside, describe the people, buildings, weather, and traffic around you. When you enter a store, think about what you want to buy in English. When you are waiting in line, create simple conversations in your mind. Ask yourself questions and answer them. What am I doing? Where am I going? What will I do after this? These small mental exercises strengthen your ability to think directly in English without relying on translation. Surround yourself with positive English habits. Keep a notebook where you write a few English sentences every evening about your day. It does not matter if the sentences are simple. What matters is that you express your own thoughts using English. Writing helps organize your ideas, improves your vocabulary, and makes speaking easier because both skills support each other. The more often you express your thoughts in English, the more naturally they come to you during conversations. Choose English whenever you have a choice. If you search for information online, try searching in English. If you watch tutorials, choose English versions. If you enjoy music, listen to English songs and pay attention to the lyrics. If you follow educational channels, make English-speaking creators part of your daily routine. Every small decision increases your exposure to the language and helps create an environment where English becomes normal instead of foreign. Be patient with yourself while building this mindset. There will be moments when you forget words or automatically return to thinking in your native language. That is completely natural. Simply notice it and gently switch back to English. Every time you make that choice, you strengthen a new habit. Over weeks and months, those choices become automatic. Your thoughts become faster, your speaking becomes smoother, your confidence becomes stronger, and English slowly transforms from something you study into something you naturally use throughout your daily life in conversations, decisions, observations, and every opportunity to communicate.